So this is the latest story. I'm going to trust these stories that are now out. I don't have feet in the ground. I'm not a reporter. But even Vegas is setting the betting odds now that Saquon Barkley, a terrific running back, will go number one. This is amazing. So Cleveland desperately needs a quarterback. They're now going to pass. The New York Giants, who frankly at 37 with Eli Manning need a quarterback, they're going to pass. Indianapolis doesn't need one. We know they'll pass. So Denver at 5 is desperate for one. Could be poised to get Darnold or Josh Rosen. What is happening here to me? We are nitpicking these quarterbacks. We're just nitpicking. Listen, when Christian Ponder came out, he was a complete bust. His senior year, he was only throwing for 170 yards a game. That's a legitimate concern. When Jake Locker came out and went 8th, in college, he only completed 54% of his throws. That's why I predicted he would be a bust. That's a legitimate concern. In the finesse Pac-12, if you're completing 54%, with Steve Sarkisian as your coach, who's an offensive-minded coach, you're not an NFL player. Blaine Gabbert, senior year in the pillow fight conference, the Big 12, had 16 TDs, 9 picks as a senior. Those are numbers where you can go, whoa, 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 whoa. Sam Darnold, who didn't start 2 full years, threw for 7,200 yards, 300 yards a game, was 20-4, 6'3.5", 225, big, mobile, tough, with terrific leadership qualities. You're nitpicking if you don't see that as an elite prospect. Josh Rosen, who did not play with great players. Most of UCLA's top players were on defense. Threw for 311 yards per game, 60% completions, 60 TDs, 25 interceptions with a weak O-line. You are nitpicking, and he's super smart if you don't think Darnold and Rosen can play. I don't even love Baker Mayfield, but he's completing 70% of his throws. You know, he's like 800 touchdowns, 8 picks. He was great in big games. He is incredibly accurate and reasonably mobile. I don't like him. I'm not into the police video and the cockiness, but there's not a ton of football warning signs here. Gabbert, Ponder, and Jake Locker, that wasn't nitpicking. They're not very good at that position. Okay, Cleveland needs a quarterback, and they are reportedly either going to take A.J. McCarron, who in 4 years has passed 130 times, couldn't beat out Andy Dalton, over Darnold or Rosen, or maybe even a Baker Mayfield. Wow. The Giants are going to pass on these? I mean, I think we're getting to a point where we have had some quarterback busts, that people are now petrified for a bust. When Jared Goff came out, I said, listen, his high end is Brady, his low end is Matt Ryan, but he's going to work in the NFL. When Carson Wentz came out, I said his high end is Andrew Luck, his low end is Bortles. But Carson Wentz is going to work in this league. Okay, Cleveland passed on both. Don't confuse real issues and flaws with nitpicking. Well, Darnold threw a lot of interceptions. First 6 games of the year, he had 1 receiver, and that offensive line wasn't great. And frankly, I don't love USC's offensive coaching. The dude went 20-4 and threw for 7,200 yards under duress often. Was great late in games. When he lost, it was to Bama, Ohio State. He was just destroyed. Josh Rosen didn't play with an elite O-line or a running back, and he was throwing for 310, 320 yards a game. Had the biggest comeback in the history of college football against Texas A&M. Like, I understand concerns. Rosen and Darnold, I'm not guaranteeing they're going to be stars in the NFL, but you are nitpicking if you're going to take A.J. McCarron long-term in a division, a windy, cold, outdoor football division. Slight A.J. McCarron is your future. Whoa. Okay, that's nitpicking. Like, don't go crazy. I could make the argument in the last 3 years, a higher percentage of first-round quarterbacks are actually landing, not whiffing. Goff, working. It's working. Wentz, it's working. Darnold Rosen, it's going to work. Wow. A running back number one in a draft that has all sorts of running backs and in a league where 1,000-yard rushers don't mean really anything in the playoffs.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.